full 277 horsepower, but power shifter controls, very, very responsive. Horn test, okay. And the thing about it is, because of the turbos attached to the engine, when it takes off, it's not aggressive, but you can tell that it has a lot of pep to it. The pick up and go, take up and go, and this thing is very, very smooth. It has a very, very smooth power band, and this car does an excellent, almost phenomenal job at it, because the previous Santa Fe was nothing like this. Absolutely nothing like this. From the two-tone textures to the responsiveness to the calmness to just the straight up smoothing of how I drive on the road, because when I'm driving on the road, it feels like I'm just straight up sailing, just cruising on clouds. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got the key to a 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe. And let me just say this right off the bat, this thing is the best looking Hyundai that Hyundai has ever made, straight up. The previous generation of this car has nothing to this one. This thing just looks so super luxury to the point where I feel poor that they gave me a key like this and a car like this. But anyway, some quick specs about this vehicle. This is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder pushing around 277 horsepower with a dual clutch 8-speed automatic transmission, and it is all-wheel drive, because come on bro, a car looking this good cannot just be front-wheel drive. This thing looks baller. It looks like a Range Rover, but slightly better too. And some quick little features. Again, we say this looks better than previous generation, but what do I mean by that? This thing looks much more boxier. It's even longer too. This thing is now a big 7-seater. And Hyundai is arguably the only brand that I know that puts as many H's, or as many subtle H's as they can on their vehicles. The tail lights there, you see those are H's, and coming all the way to the front, you will also notice that the headlights have H's on them as well too. Like, Hyundai is the only brand that I know is as proud to display the first letter of their vehicle brand on anything they can put it on, pretty much. But just taking in the beauty of this thing, beautiful wheels, and again, this thing is all-wheel drive, so you can take it in snow, mud, rain, any situation. But let's talk about our trunk space. Hold the key over here, automatic trunk, which is pretty nice, with a backup camera as well. Tons of space all the way in the back. As you can see, you can fold all the seats if you want ample space. And just with a quick view of the interior, you can see that this thing does have two-tone and a nice tan color in here, which makes it look very, very nice. And we have rear AC back here. Only downside is that it may not be the biggest 7-seater out there, because if you decide to pull your seats up, your space gets limited kind of drastically almost. And if you think there's space down here, there really isn't that much space down here. So you kind of win some and you lose some, but actually I like there is some space down here. There's some space down here, but nothing too crazy. And closing this. Oh, I double pressed it. There we go. It's a little bit windy, so forgive me. Hopping into the interior. Let me pull the seats back up. There we go. Takes a little bit of effort, but nothing too crazy. But look at this color. Just look at this color. Let me hop inside and give you guys a nice view. This is all leather seats, and they look beautiful. They look fantastic. Like, I would never have expected Hyundai to look this good. Let me close the door real quick. Not only do you have two-tone leather inside, heated seats in the back, you have some wood trim, some more textured, well, not textured leather, that's the wrong word, some more leather that's also stitched going around here, aluminum door handle, you get your speaker down here, and some more Hyundai lettering all the way down here as well too. Very, I don't even want to say simple stuff. This looks really, really cool. And if you tilt your head on the air vents, you see a subtle H being formed in there. Again, just more H's Hyundai wants to throw around everywhere. And you can also access, if you're in the back and you want to access the front storage, now you can. The coolest feature in this car by far. No, not every other manufacturer does this, to be honest. And you also get some more storage down here too. Opening this is actually plastic compared to the usual cloth netting that's all around every other vehicle. So you can put all your important documents and you know you're not going to fly around anywhere. Type-C USB ports over here as well. Back seats might not be my favorite thing, not gonna lie. It's a little bit tighter than I would wish it was. But trying to squeeze in there, it's kind of easy to get into, but my knee height rises up significantly. You can't fit a full-grown adult here. They won't be as comfortable, but the seats kind of make up for it as well too. You had a charging port here, Type-C, and your vent controls as well too. Now, actually headroom is actually pretty good as well too, but getting out of the back seat, it's kind of hard when you're a slightly full-grown adult, but they make it easy to access at the very least. Hopping inside, more leather all around, which I very like, which I like a lot. I can't even speak properly anymore. I love this car so much. Now hopping into the front seat, where all the magic happens. Ooh, love this thing. Alright, so right off the bat, you'll notice this thing looks baller. This thing looks expensive. So much luxury in here. You may notice a little bit of ambient lighting going all around. Some more wool trim, some more tan leather going all around this thing. And you can also fold your mirrors as well too. Memory seats, a good 12.3 inches. For your passengers and for you as well. Turning it on, foot on the brake, push to start. This thing looks absolutely stunning. No words can begin to define how stunning this thing is. And yes, the speakers sound absolutely heavenly, if I have to say so myself. But two wireless charging ports over here. Let me just slap my phone over there because my phone is about to die. Storage over here. Cup holders over here. There you go. Your terrain select. So you can either be in normal, sport, or my drive, which is more customizable as well too. Your air controls or your climate controls are also fully touchscreen. You got heated and ventilated seats as well, which is very nice when it's hot outside. And they're both dual climate as well too. Parking cameras as well. We got 3D to show you so that you don't scrape your nice luxury car, and a bird's eye view, which makes it nigh impossible for you to crash this thing. You've got to be a different kind of person to be able to crash a vehicle like this. Got tiny little paddle shifters, which I will definitely use a lot of. But let us put this thing in drive and go for a little test drive. Okay, first of all, we're gonna do a quick 3-point turn and a horn test. So horn test. Okay. Sounds very classy the way the horn sounds. Like nothing crazy again, but it just sounds classy and respectable almost. The pick up and go, take up and go. And this thing is very smooth. It has a very smooth power band. And the thing about it is, because of the turbos attached to the engine, when it takes off, it's not aggressive, but you can tell that it has a lot of pep to it. And as you can see, not even driving, it's almost self-driving almost. But keep your hands on the steering wheel because it will let go and try and scare you into hanging onto the steering wheel still. But look at this thing. Very smooth. And since we're going into a school zone, we're gonna take it slow. We're gonna be going straight up 40 kilometers an hour. But the thing is, it sees what's in front of us. It sees the lanes with all the sensors going crazy right now. Like, it's very easy to get used to a car like this. And it makes me realize that you don't even need a high horsepower car most of the time. Because when you have a car like this, horsepower is not what you're looking for. What you're looking for is going to be comfort and just straight up drivability and how well you can enjoy your drive in a car like this. And this car does an excellent, almost phenomenal job at it. Because the previous Santa Fe was nothing like this. Absolutely nothing like this. From the two-tone textures, to the responsiveness, to the calmness, to just the straight up smoothing of how I drive on the road. Because when I'm driving on the road, it feels like I'm just straight up sailing, just cruising on clouds. To the point where I feel like even German cars will have some serious competition with this car right now. But let's talk about our little paddle shifters. For those who always want to talk about performance, our paddle shifters, we have a dual clutch 8-speed automatic transmission, so you know that the car and the gearbox is gonna be very, very responsive. In no matter what situation you're gonna put the gearbox in, it's gonna be ready to either downshift or upshift, depending on what you're doing. And since it's all-wheel drive, of course you can take it off-road. Do I think anyone's gonna take it off-road? Nah, I really don't think anyone's gonna take this car off-road, because this thing just looks way too beautiful to be anywhere near mud or any of those kind of situations, basically. But we'll do a quick little acceleration. And since, even though we have paddle shifters, we don't have a manual mode where we keep our paddle shifters on precisely. So we're gonna downshift to 2. And when the turbos kick in, this thing likes to take off. And even though you may think it's a big body, it takes the corners very, very well. I'm not saying you can take a full 90-degree turn on a dime, but regular corners, you can take them really, really well and very, very easily as well. Even though there is body roll, the comfort in the seats just almost negates that completely. And see, 4, 3, 2, 1. See how quick this thing shifts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're there. Like, it's crazy how quick this thing is. The transmission in this thing is quick. I love it. But as I said before, you can't really stay in manual mode too. Like, if you come to a complete stop, it will turn you back into full drive. But this is honestly my favorite Hyundai of all time. The more I drive it, the more I honestly feel like trading in my car and getting something like this. But for the time being, I'm not rich enough to get a car like this yet. Even though it's actually pretty inexpensive to own a Hyundai that looks like this. Because some people will expect it to be 100K or even more. To be honest, I'll say no. It's not gonna be that high. It's not gonna charge you an arm and a leg as some of the other luxury vehicles would try to do to you. Hyundai is nice. And if you take too long to shift to the next gear, the car will shift for you so that it just doesn't redline itself into oblivion, if you know what I'm saying. But let's do a quick little acceleration and let us actually turn on our cruise control as well. As you can see, our lane keep assist is doing its best to keep us in between the lanes at all times. And now we're gonna try out cruise control when we get up to speed at the very, very least. Full 277 horsepower, but cruise control is coming on, and I can almost fully let go of the steering wheel, but I'm always gonna hover above the steering wheel. And since it's fully adaptive cruise control, you know that the car will brake by itself and accelerate by itself as well too. And in stop and go traffic, the cruise control is the best thing to have as well. And since you guys know I'm lazy, we also have the auto hold feature. So if I step on the brake long enough, the car will not roll anymore. Especially if I come to a complete stop like so, put my foot on the brake fully, auto hold is in place, and we're Gucci. But anyway guys, this has been Morty in the 2024 Hyundai Sonata Luxury Edition. Take care guys, and again, huge shout out to Gyro Hyundai for giving me this vehicle and letting me review and enjoy this car to the fullest. Anyway guys, take care and peace.